Hello, my name is Tia Wynn, and I am here today to speak with you all about one of the major health issues in the state of Alabama and in our community, Jefferson County. I'm a registered nurse and also was in Huntsville enrolled in the RN to BSN program. And I would like to thank you all for allowing me to be here today. In this PowerPoint, we will discuss what is coronary artery disease, what can cause someone to have this disease, ways to maintain a lifestyle with this disease, examples, lifestyle modifications, healthcare visits, things of that nature, and ways to prevent forming the disease, diet, exercise, and lifestyle habits, and also some cooking tips. So first we'll start with what is coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease is a common term for the buildup of plaque in the heart vessels that could lead to a heart attack. Plaque first grows within the walls of the coronary arteries. Okay. What is coronary artery disease? Coronary artery disease is a common term for the buildup of plaque in the heart's arteries that could lead to a heart attack. Plaque first grows within the walls of the coronary arteries until the blood flow to the heart's muscles is limited. And this happens in two main ways. Chronic, which is narrowing of the coronary artery over time and it limits blood supply to the heart, or acute, which is a sudden rupture of plaque and the formation of a thrombus or a blood clot. And this is an example of plaque building up and impeding the blood flow through the artery. So you have less conductivity to the heart. All right. And this is a quote that I saw on the American Heart Association page about coronary artery disease. One of their employees stated that it begins in the childhood, so that by teenage years, there's a lot of more evidence that plaque will stay with us for the rest of our life. So, for example, when people smoke at a younger age and as they get older, that's just continuous buildup until they end up having pre-existing heart conditions from things, from childhood. So here are certain risks that can expose us to coronary artery disease. So high cholesterol is definitely one. High blood pressure, family history. So if you have people in the family that have a history of coronary artery disease, diabetes, smoking, postmenopausal women, and men that are older than 45 are at risk, and also obesity, which is definitely something we see a lot of in the South. And so one of the diets that I saw is called the DASH diet. The DASH diet stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. This diet is generally good for any heart disease related issue and hypertension, which can lead to coronary artery disease. So this is the diagram that I got, diagram. It shows your fruits, veggies, whole grains, healthy dairy, lean meats, nuts, and vegetable-based oils. And then, of course, all the things we love on the no side, which is not saying that we can't have them, but we have to eat them in moderation. Okay, and this is another thing I got from this American Heart Association. It's 7 steps to a healthier heart. You don't have to make big changes to reduce heart attack and stroke risk. And here are 7 healthy habits that could change your life. So, of course, at the top, we have live smoke-free, monitor your blood pressure, and of course, the ideal numbers are 120/80, but that's not everyone's baseline. Maintain a healthy body weight, a BMI particularly less than 25. Watch your cholesterol, control your blood sugar, get active. So 150 minutes of moderate activity, brisk walking, and at least 75 minutes of high intensity exercise, and eat a heart healthy diet. So that was the DASH diet that I showed you guys earlier. Let's see. And here's some tips on cooking, because that's usually the issue with seasoning food. We love to use salt, which is one of the biggest things that we shouldn't use. So this just states to use more spices and less salt. An important part of healthy eating is choosing foods that are low in salt and other forms of sodium. And using less sodium is the key to keeping a low blood pressure. Most Americans use more salt and sodium than they need, and it's most predominantly in the African American community and the elderly. Most Americans should consume no more than 2.4 grams of sodium, and that equals about a teaspoon of table salt a day, which of course we use way more than that. For someone with high blood pressure, however, the doctors advise less. Before trying salt substitutes, check with your doctor, especially if you already have high blood pressure. And here's some tips. So buy fresh, plain, frozen, or canned, no salt vegetables. Use fresh poultry, fish, and lean meat rather than canned or processed. Use herbs and spices and salt-free seasoning blends. One of my favorites is Miss Dash. It's still flavorful. Cook rice, pasta, and hot cereal without salt. Cut back on instant or flavored rice, pasta, and cereal mixes, which usually have added salt, so like ramen noodles. Choose convenient foods that are low in sodium. Cut back on frozen dinners, pizza, packaged mixes, canned soups or broths, and salad dressings. Rinse your canned foods, and of course, we rinse our rice off because all the starch and stuff is at the top. When available, buy low or reduced sodium or no salt added versions of foods. And choose ready-to-eat breakfast cereals that are low in sodium. Closing remarks. This is just a couple of questions that you can ask yourself to reflect. Do you think you know more about coronary artery disease after this presentation? Was the information easy to understand? Are there any additional questions you may have for me? If so, you can write them down. I will be glad to answer them. And if you would, rate my presentation on a scale of 1 to 10. And some websites that you can go to look for additional information about coronary artery disease is the American Heart Association and the Center for Disease Control tab under coronary artery disease. Thank you guys for listening.
Yay.